guys, welcome back. I'm Nawaf and you're watching Shipmate Nawaf Kazi. Guys, today this video is made specially for our aspiring chief officers who are right now second officers in rank, giving the exams and are going to become chief officers soon. This video has specifically requested to me by three of my second officers, very good second officers and very good of my friends. First is Arun Sankar, Glenn Abanes, and third is Anurag Kutiala. So guys, the topic for today's video is cargo planning once we receive the cargo orders. So guys, how to go about the cargo planning once we receive the cargo orders? Normally you will receive cargo orders from your operations department or from the charterers, and then as a chief officer you need to prepare the cargo plan, the loadables, the drafts, and a lot of things are involved. So how do we remember all of these things, and we want to be sure that we are not missing out on anything. First time in rank, you have this certain insecurity that you might miss out something. Of course, when you gain a certain amount of experience, you tend to do it pretty well. But just for beginners, if you are worried that you will forget few things and you don't want that worry to come, here is a phrase. It's so simple: fishing vessel, deepest draft to less. Now what is this? Hear the phrase once again. So simple: fishing vessel, deepest draft to less. Okay, remember this phrase and you will not miss on any of the cargo planning points. So let us begin with first. So simple. We will take the first letters of all the words in this phrase, and we will see how it goes. So first is S, stands for stress. That is the SF shearing force, the bending moment on board. The hog and sag, very important. If you're loading a big ship, you will tend to have sagging after completion of loading. So this sag you need to take into account while doing the cargo planning. Now how will you know how much sag to take into account, whether it is 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters or 20 centimeters. So guys, you will have to take this over from the chief officer whom you are relieving, because he has the experience of loading on that ship, and you will get this value from him. And after first loading, you yourself will see the drafts and you will come to know how much is the sag on board your ship. The second S stands for the stability. Of course, you will check the intact stability and damaged stability. You have a wonderful equipment called Loadigator on board, which will give you everything. So you see that all the results for your stability are within the limits and you're good to go. The third one is fishing, F. F stands for your filling ratio, percentage of cargo in your tank. Some guys might take it 97.5%, some might take it 97.8% if you are required to load to that volume. Guys, for this figure, discuss with your master how much he wants to take, and you're good to go again. Then comes V, vessel. V stands for the volume. Normally when you receive the cargo instructions from your operations or chartering department, they will normally give you a figure of the loadable cargo expected. Like for example, 265,000 plus minus 10% barrels, something like that. So when you have such a figure, while planning your cargo, you will take the maximum figure which you can load, and then you're good to go. Then the next one which comes is D, stands for the density of the cargo. Normally the charterers will provide you the density of the cargo which they intend to load, but if they have not given you the density, and if it is a standard product like gasoline, gas oil or naphtha, you already know the densities. If you don't know the densities, of course it will be loaded in your Loadigator in the past, and the Loadigators normally come with some standard cargos and the densities. So you can take this density for planning purpose, and when you export your cargo plan to the charterers or operations, just mention in that you have taken this density for the calculation purpose. Then the second is, then comes D, it stands for draft. You might have a restriction at the load port, or you might have a restriction at the discharge port. If you have a restriction at the discharge port and if you are on a long voyage, Then guys, you need to consider the bunker consumption, because you see when you are on a long voyage, by the time you reach the discharge port, there will be bunker consumption from the aft part of the vessel, and when you arrive the discharge port, you might tend to go down by head, and to correct the trim or to make a even keel, you might have to take an additional ballast. Now this additional ballast, whatever you take, is gonna increase your draft as well. So guys, you have to be careful. In this case, what you will do is, at the load port, when you know that at the discharge port there is a draft restriction, at the load port you take ballast in the forepeak and finish your cargo at even keel. The quantity of the ballast in forepeak should be same as the quantity of the bunker consumed from load port to discharge port. So when you are reaching the discharge port, you have bunker consumptions from aft. Before reaching the discharge port, you pump out the forepeak water, and you arrive the discharge port, which is a draft restricted port. You arrive there at even keel and without any additional ballast on board. Then comes T, temperature. Guys, it is very important to check the temperature from load port to discharge port, and the voyage throughout. The temperature, max temperature, whatever you are going to achieve, you need to take this temperature for the calculation purposes, so that you have sufficient expansion space in your tanks. And the last one is load line zones. Of course, you will load up to the load line, and you will see the load line chart, which I'm sure you must be aware where to see on board your ship. So the idea is, when your ship is in a particular load line zone, it should not exceed the load line in that zone. And some ships might have multiple load lines as well, and maybe it is a reduced one for your ship now. So you need to check which is the applicable load line for now, and you have to load according to that. These are few things which is very easy to remember with this phrase, so simple: fishing vessel, deepest draft, too low. This phrase and the first letters of these words in this phrase cover the entire aspect of cargo loading operations. Now, a few things I will add over and above this. There is the constant. So guys, when you join port ship for the first time as a chief officer, again the value of this constant you will have to take from the chief officer who is off signing, and ensure that this constant is entered in your load indicator. One very good method to do once you take over a ship is to calculate the constant yourself. Now I will share a very easy method how to calculate the constant yourself. Normally people calculate the constant of a loaded ship, but I have a different technique. Guys, it is very easy to calculate the constant of a ship which is in ballast. Make all the ballast tanks full. You are 100% sure that all the ballast tanks are full and all the cargo tanks are empty. So once all the cargo tanks are empty, you know that there is nothing unpumpable left in the cargo tanks, and your ballast tanks are full. Because what happens is, if you do a draft survey, we call it draft survey, right? If you do this draft survey on a loaded ship, then no matter however well you strip your ballast tanks, there is bound to be some unpumpable ballast left in your tanks. Whereas in case of a fully ballasted ship, you know the volume of the ballast tank, cargo tanks are empty, and you can check the draft, 6-sided draft and mean drafts, and you can calculate. I'm not going to go into the calculation part, because I'm sure you will learn this in your exams, in your phase 1, phase 2, and you will calculate the constant. So you will verify the constant. Why it is important to verify the constant? It's certain insecurities are there in chief officer's mind, whether they will exceed the draft when we receive the cargo query from the charterers. So just to avoid this insecurity that they might exceed the drafts, they end up loading less, and every ton loaded less is every dollar lost. So guys, it's very important to calculate the constant, and once you know the constant and you see the behavior of your ship, the drafts, whether the load indicator drafts and the visual drafts, actually when you're loading, are they matching or not? For planning purposes, how much ballast tanks, like your cargo tanks will be full and the ballast tanks will be empty. In spite of that, you need to keep certain unpumpable ballast in your ballast tanks. This also you will have to take over from your chief officer, because he must have seen the tanks from inside, how much is the mud and how much is the unpumpable, and basis on his experience during the last loadings. But you can fine tune it once you take over, seeing your judgment and how much is the mud in the tanks, or how much is the constant that you get. So yeah, this was one thing. Now second thing is very practical. You receive a cargo query from the charterers, you prepare the cargo plan. While preparing the cargo plan, you remember the phrase, so simple: fishing vessel, deepest draft, too low. Basis on these phrases and all the points which I have explained before, you will do the cargo planning. Cargo planning you will do in your loadicator. There will be different types of loadicator ship to ship. You might have loadometer, you might have ship manager 88, you might have max 3. So there are different loadicators, but basically the idea is same of all the loadicators. All these loadicators will give you exactly the same results. They will give you the stability, they will give the draft, they will have the ASTM tables incorporated. So your loadicator is your everything. Make sure once you join on board your ship, you have a backup for your loadicator. There will be a backup CD with the master. So this backup CD has to be installed on a computer. Keep it installed so that in case if the CPU of your main loadicator computer is corrupt, it's not working, then you have at least a backup loadicator on a back. You have a loadicator copy on a backup PC for your calculations. Here I am not going to go in details about the trim and stability booklet or how to do the manual calculations, because if I go into that, it will be a big video. And I'm sure you will be learning the calculations now during your exams. So practical aspects are very simple. You receive from the charterers the query, you prepare the cargo plan as per the points which I have mentioned now, as per the phrase, and you don't miss out anything. Once you have derived the loadables, that is maximum quantity what you can load, and the draft what you're going to achieve, the drafts, saltwater draft, freshwater draft, or brackish water draft, and you just shoot it out to the charterers. They will come back to you whether they want some fine tuning in this or it's good to go. So that's it, guys. It's very simple. I know you guys are aspiring chief officers. There are certain insecurities initially, but as you start doing it, it is really simple. Be confident, and if you have any doubt, you have an experienced master on board. You can always consult him. So guys, that's it for now. This is Nawaf, and thank you for requesting me such videos. If you have any more doubts or regarding this video, or if you want me to make videos on any other topics of your interest, please let me know in my comments. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you for now. Bye bye.